Oh yeah, what's going on everybody? I got a hot one again. This, excuse me. Oh yeah, you already know what it is. This is the ROG Phone 3. That's right, ROG Phone 3. This is the 10 cent games edition, which I will get to in a minute here. Try to make this not so long as my past couple of videos have been. I know y'all don't like that, but there's a lot to talk about with this phone. A lot of confusion as well with the 10 cent edition. More so than last year with the ROG Phone 2. If y'all remember correctly, I did an overview on the ROG Phone 2 last year, and it was the 10 cent games edition, and it was before I really knew what that meant. Also, even though I didn't really have any issues with it. I liked it a lot. As a matter of fact, when I got rid of it, I regretted it. I wanted it back, which I tend to do a lot. But again, we'll get to that in a second here. Run down at the specs. This is the 12 gigabyte variant with 128 gigs of internal storage. Yes, I know what y'all are waiting on. I'm saving that for last. It doesn't have expandable memory, but it is dual SIM. Let's see. 6 point. It's almost a 6.6 inch Super AMOLED panel, in-display fingerprint sensor, 1080p Full HD plus resolution. I think it's a 19 by 9 or maybe. Yeah, either that or it's an 18 by 9. It wouldn't be a 20 or 21 by 9. Obviously, it does have a chin and a forehead. And they do that. These gaming phones a lot of times tend to feature an older design on purpose. They leave the bezels there, for your grip, for your palm, for the palm of your hand, so there's no ghost touching, obviously. So I am a fan of the zero bezels and the pop-up cameras or the hole punches, etc. But I'm also a gaming phone fan. I am a mobile gaming fan. Okay, so this isn't something that you can knock on phones like this. Okay, they're done for a specific reason. These are aimed at a specific market, a niche, if you will. Okay, and most people actually know that when they're looking at these phones, so it's really a non-issue. It does, man. You have to excuse me, y'all. I don't. Oh man, I want to say it's a. I should know this. I'm sorry, y'all. I do these on the fly. I don't edit these. But I think it's a 6,000 milliamp battery. I could be wrong. Maybe a 5. Pretty sure it's a 6. I know it's the same size as what the ROG Phone 2 was last year. It is UFS 3.1. The RAM is DDR5, the latest and greatest of both. The right speed, the RAM technology, etc. And I'll just get right into it. It does have the Snapdragon 865 Plus. I know what you're going to say. Wait a minute, Justin. The 10 cent games edition this year just has the standard Snapdragon 865. The non-10 cent is the 865 Plus. And that is wrong. I thought that too. What you are actually referring to is the Strix edition. You have the ROG Phone 3, which comes global and 10 cent. But the 10 cent is global as well now. Again, there's a lot of confusion here. And then you have the ROG Phone 3 Strix edition, which you can also get as a 10 cent games edition. Very weird. I wish Asus wouldn't do that. They've really kind of they've really created a bit of a problem. Let's see here. You get these cool little stickers. I really like those. The literature box there, of course. Your charger. Cable, and this model has no headphone jack, so you do get the 3.5 millimeter jack to USB Type C for your for your standard headphones. let's see here. NFC, Bluetooth 5, 5.1 if I'm not mistaken. Man, I mean, it has a lot of goodies. This thing is just chock full. It also does come with a little case. It's a very flimsy case. I left it in the other room. It's not really much to write home about. I generally am one that actually likes the cases that come with a lot of these phones, which a lot of people don't. I do, because they're very minimalistic. They're clear. They're gel cases. The case on this phone is pretty garbage, and I did end up finding an aftermarket clear gel case, which would have otherwise came with this phone if it wasn't trying to be a gaming phone. This is the one I got here, and it has all of the hose for everything, including the exhaust vents, if you will. And speaking of which, we'll just kind of give you a little rundown of the phone here, right quick here. See that right there, and beautiful phone there. Got your triple camera setup, your dual flash. It does have the latest Sony IMX 586 64 megapixel camera. Of course, these aren't known for taking great shots. The hardware's there. It's always just the software that's the issue. It seems like. But let's see here. You got your antenna bands. It is an aluminum frame. I don't know if the camera's catching that very well. Type-C, dual stereo speakers. You got your awesome triggers for the it's just flowing here, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm actually using the Pixel 4a to record this too, but you do get the awesome triggers right there that actually say ROG on them, ROG. Got your power button, your volume rocker. No special color there or anything like that. Beautiful glass design here too. Sorry for doing the y'all. Dang, I apologize about that. I know it's a bad habit, and I just did it again. But anyways, it is Gorilla Glass 6 in the front, if I'm not mistaken. The back may be of a lesser, maybe 3. Again, y'all, I've had a lot going on this week, a lot of personal stuff, so I'm trying to be on it, because I love this phone, and I want y'all to know about it. There's just so much to talk about with the whole Tencent Games thing. With the ROG Phone 2, the Tencent Games, both models had the Snapdragon 855 Plus. The issues with the Tencent Games Edition was that it was a Chinese ROM. And of course, the seller I had gotten from had actually installed a global ROM on it, and I didn't realize that I didn't catch the phone wasn't sealed, and that they did that, which I was fine with. The phone worked fantastically. I love the ROG Phone 2. The other limitations were that the Tencent edition was missing a couple of bands for LTE in the US. I don't remember exactly what bands those were, but the phone worked perfectly for me. And another issue was too, and I don't even see how this was even possible, but the Tencent Games Edition had a slightly downgraded category download speeds, if you will, through the through the Snapdragon modem that it had. I think the Snapdragon 855 Plus non 5G chipset. What did it have? The Snapdragon X21 or something like that, and it had category 20 LTE, which the ROG Phone 2 had, but the Tencent was downgraded to category 18 or something like that. It's been a year now. Y'all will probably know, be able to look it up and tell me. I could obviously do it, but I don't want to do it in the middle of this video. But download speeds and missing bands, though it was either one of it. I know it has something to do with the slower downloads, supposedly, because I read that, along with the Chinese ROM out of the box, before modification. I don't remember quite 100% if the band support was an issue with the Tencent edition, But what I can tell you was it worked perfectly on AT&T. I couldn't speak on T-Mobile at the time, but it worked perfectly with AT&T. It had band 2, band 5, which are very important to AT&T. It also had band 17, and if it had band 17, it has band 12 for T-Mobile. It didn't have, band 61, or not 61, but 66 and 71. But, I mean, heck, what else is new? A lot of foreign phones don't have 66 and 71. Some do, most don't. A lot of times you gotta wait for them to get US releases to include those bands. So, I didn't notice a difference in band support. I didn't have the two, obviously, to compare. I also didn't notice a difference in slower download speeds, but I do remember reading that as a limitation, specifically. Don't really see how that was possible. They had the same processor, and the modems are built into the processors. But that is something that I had actually read officially from Asus and Tencent, not just from what somebody told me or from, another review site that I read. But the Asus has definitely made it more confusing here with the ROG Phone 3 series. You essentially have 4, maybe even 5 different ones. You have the ROG Phone 3 with the Snapdragon 855 Plus. You have the ROG Phone 3 Strix Edition with the Snapdragon 855 standard chipset. Then you have the ROG Phone 3 Tencent Games Edition, which has this 865 Plus. Then you have the ROG Phone 3 Strix / Tencent Games Edition, which, you guessed it, has a standard 865. And the reason why it's possibly a 5th model is because of this. Yes, this is the Tencent Games Edition. The non-Strix, but Tencent Games Edition. Snapdragon 865 Plus processor. 3.1 gigs. But it was sealed, completely wrapped. And you can go through the developer options. There's multiple ways to figure out if the firmware has been flashed, been modified. This phone has had no modifications whatsoever done. None. So, and it has the global ROM. There's not even any Chinese bloatware on it at all. Period. Besides Asus's bloatware. Other than that, stock Android, or stockish Android, I should say, for all of you purists. And actually, just like the ROG Phone 2, it gives you the option. You can have the gaming theme, the ROG UI, or you can have stock Android. What I do like more about the ROG Phone 3 is that you can switch them even after setup. The ROG Phone 2, I don't know if it was a Tencent thing or not, because I never got the regular non-Tencent version. But on the ROG Phone 2, whatever you selected at setup, you were stuck with. You couldn't go back without resetting the entire phone. That might have changed later with an update. I don't know. But I never was able to find a way. This phone, you can do it on the fly. This does have a... anyways, back to that 5th model. There might be a Tencent Games Edition, and that has the Chinese ROM like the ROG Phone 2 did, unmodified. There might also be a Tencent / Strix Edition also with the Chinese ROM. If it's not already, I don't know. So it might be 5 or 6, but I do know of 4 different models, and that's before we get into the RAM and internal storage configurations, because you can get these with as low as 8 gigs of RAM all the way up to 16 gigs. You can get these with up to 512 gigs of internal storage. There may be a 256 gig option. I do know it goes from 128, which this has, to 512. I don't recall seeing a 256, but I don't see why there wouldn't be. Asus has always been all about choices and stuff. Of course, the whole Tencent / Strix thing, I really wouldn't have done. They've really made it confusing there. It's really causing, for a long video to blab, and I'm, really trying to go through it as fast as possible. We're already 15 minutes into this. But other than that, it is a fantastic phone. It does have a 144 Hertz refresh rate. This phone, I don't remember the Red Magic 5G having this option, and I know the others didn't, but this phone here does give you the option to toggle all the different refresh rates from auto down to 60, 90, 120, and 144. And there's also a hidden 160 Hz refresh rate on this phone, which will obviously more than likely be the future of gaming phones or flagship phones in general next year, I'm sure. And that's just awesome. It has a 240 millisecond, I think, touch sampling rate. It might be higher than that because I'm seeing 240 on flagships that aren't advertised as gaming phones. So this might even be higher than that. It has, the ton of accessories. The accessories from the ROG Phone 2 are compatible with the ROG Phone 3. It's the ROG Phone 1 accessories that aren't, just as they weren't with the second generation either last year. Of course, I never had the original one. But you do get your 30-watt charger. Again, I know I already went through that. And another thing I want to show y'all, too, which I'm fixing to get into. This phone, I can confirm, again, I am not having any band issues. Of course, it doesn't have 66 and 71. But I do get 5G with AT&T. One thing that Asus does, I hate this, and some of your Xiaomi phones do this as well, depending on the region that they come from. It displays 4G, but that is 4G LTE, make no mistake about that, okay? Because it'll display H for HSPA+, fake 4G, faux 4G, whatever you want to call it. It'll display H and H+, for 3G, etc. So when Asus's phones display 4G, it means LTE. This phone, I can confirm, does work on AT&T 5G. Here at the house, I don't get 5G just yet. I did for a little while. One of my other phones back a couple months ago. But I guess they are still going through upgrades. Because, on LTE here, it jumps back on band 5. Which is the band that they use for 5G. So they're obviously doing some kind of upgrade here. I haven't seen it in about a month or two, but there was a good week or so where I was getting it on one of my other 5G capable AT&T phones, or AT&T 5G capable phones, I should say. It wasn't an AT&T branded phone. But, because I even had an AT&T 5G branded phone, the Galaxy A71 5G. Here I was only getting 4G. But I have, again, gotten 5G here. But I did take a screenshot while I was at work the other day to prove that I was getting 5G. You notice how my phone right there still says 4G. But that's because, I'm showing y'all my number. Well, anyways, it's already there anyways now. So, and I'm not going to edit this. So, if I touch the screen, though, and it shows you the full screenshot, because I still had the border on, because it shows you my photos and stuff. It tells you how many photos I have, etc., and gives you your editing options, delete, etc. Now, when I actually go full screen with the screenshot, you'll see that I had 5G. And if you go down here, mobile, sorry, y'all, my hands, I got my elbow on the ground there. Mobile data network type, LTE 4G, and NR 5G. So, check that out. And I didn't go overseas to get that. That was right here where I live. And that was on AT&T's network. So anyways, I hope I clarified a bunch of things there. This phone's awesome. I mean, it's fantastic. It might be a glass design, but it's not really that slippery. It feels really good in the hands. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. It's just it's all around been a great phone. It does have facial recognition and works really fast. The fingerprint sensor in display works amazingly well. The always on display is gorgeous. Tons of features with this phone, and I really couldn't be happier with it. It's definitely one of my favorite phones this year. I was waiting for a Snapdragon 865 Plus powered phone, and y'all stay tuned. I got lots more coming up. I have hopefully either by Thursday or Friday, I will have the Redmi K30 Ultra. Next week or sooner, next Tuesday or sooner, I'm expecting Blue's first gaming phone, the G90 Pro, which I'm already seeing there's videos of on YouTube. In between this time, I will also have the standard AT&T branded Galaxy Note 20 5G. And sometime around, it'll probably be a couple days after September 2nd, maybe earlier in the week after next week, I will also have, we'll just say 10 days, I guess. I will also have if I can get it out here, come on, Justin, get it out. I will also have the Red Magic 5S. There, I couldn't get it out there. The Red Magic 5S. So, y'all be on the lookout for that. I also got the TicWatch GTX coming in as well sometime around that same time. So anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed. Hit me up in the comments. Peace.